what are the risks? And this is all going to happen in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Are you worried? Do you lose sleep at night? What are the risks, and when will we know it's going to be okay? And then what will happen to ETH on the back of it?
Absolutely not. Like, because on the this has been tested very rigorously. Multiple test nets have been tested. And for example, Polygon's testnet is also on Goerli testnet. So even Goerli testnet migrated and our testnet worked perfectly fine. So it is also important to understand that the way this merge or this upgrade is happening on Ethereum, it does not affect any of the developers which are building on top of Ethereum. So no apps get impacted, no users get impacted, no protocols like us built on top of get impacted. It's like for us, we are above the surface, something is changing below the surface. We will not even notice that something changed. No change in gas fees, no change in way we interact, no change in wallets, nothing. Right. So, so that's why, like, the risks are, there can be like some very like, kind of corner case scenarios that when it actually goes on the mainnet, in let's say 1 week or 10 days from now, we realize that, okay, there are some opcodes which are not working. Or even like, when it goes live on the mainnet, the chain, like that's the biggest risk, I would say, is that chain gets halted. So then the Bitcoin maxi group is like, and that's not really a very terrible thing. To be honest, like the community will quickly come back, they will hard fork, and then, again, the chain will start and they will have to do the merge process again. So that's a risk, and that will lead to a lot of, loss of value also for Ethereum technically in the short term. But that's kind of the biggest risk, and that has already been addressed by this rigorous testing already or now. Unless that happens, I think everything else is manageable. Like if the chain goes well, it remains live, it remains alive, and uptime is, maintains uptime, and people are using it. And later on, we realize that there was some, kind of scenarios. Those I think will be people will be able to solve them with engineering solutions. So I am like 99.9%. Confident that it will happen perfectly fine. There's nothing to be worried about.
Okay, even with all the Bitcoin maxis around the world hoping and praying that it fails, and so
Yeah.
what will this mean to a Bitcoin maxi if this goes through okay? And why would they want it to fail?
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of maxis on the show. I've had a lot of maxis on the show. So
yeah. And I think like I mean, I have huge respect for Bitcoin. Bitcoin only started this whole this thing, but I think somewhere in the middle, the leadership that took over and all that, like, I think there are some strategic missteps we feel like, or I feel maybe, and I can be completely wrong. I'm nobody, like, just I'm humbly saying, just citing my opinion. But I think Bitcoin today, if you see, is like they completely changed the narrative to that it is Bitcoin or it is digital gold, right? So then when it is gold on Bitcoin network, you can't really do transactions, or you can't do much transactions over there. And the only thing that Bitcoin has in its favor, or two things actually, is that, one point that, okay, the supply is fixed. Like we have $21 million supplies that will be scarce and this and that. The second thing is that there is the Bitcoin as a brand. These two things are the core big things with Bitcoin. Everything else, if you see, with all this happening, because there are not many transactions in the network, so what is the incentive for the miners to keep supporting Bitcoin when the halvening keeps on happening and the mining rewards become lower? Then the supply, okay, supply is fixed, that's good. But in terms of the base layer innovation, there's not much that is happening. Like, recently Taproot went live, which is also not that much of a big thing, and after like 2, 3, 4 years. So there's not much, but they argue that, the stability of this layer is actually the most important thing. But if you compare that with Ethereum, provided this merge also goes smoothly and all that, Ethereum has been able to successfully upgrade multiple good features into it. In terms of the supply, Ethereum supply is not only actually fixed, but it is actually deflationary now. Eventually Ethereum supply is going to be deflationary. Second thing that people have raised a lot of questions, like even Warren Buffett said that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, right? Whereas Ethereum, if you see, it has intrinsic value because it is the currency to use this massive world computer, or the value or the settlement layer of this internet of value. So it has an intrinsic value. The third thing is, the Warren Buffett and these, finance wizards have said that Bitcoin doesn't even provide any yield, intrinsic yield. If you see that with Ethereum, today, if you hold Ethereum, you can actually stake it in the network and earn the yield from the transaction fees. So it's a yield-bearing asset. It's a deflationary asset. It has actual intrinsic value. So that's why and it has a good brand also. Of course, Bitcoin is like way ahead of Ethereum's brand globally, but Ethereum also has good brand. People know, whoever knows Bitcoin deep enough, they know, oh, there is something Ethereum also. Whoever uses Bitcoin or invested in Bitcoin, whatever it is, they know Ethereum. People who have just like watching crypto from a distance, only they are the people who know only Bitcoin, right? But that don't count. They don't count. The actual users who are there in crypto, 90% of them who know Bitcoin or bought Bitcoin, they know Ethereum also. So I think eventually the larger world is also going to realize, brand will keep growing and all that, people are going to realize that whatever thing, you are thinking Bitcoin has value or has utility, Ethereum also has that and some more, and much more, I would say, right? And it's a matter of time. So that's why I feel, and I have like no, kind of hate towards Bitcoin. I don't want to be Ethereum maxi or anything, but I feel that the way Bitcoin has grown in the last 4-5 years, the narratives or the things they picked up or the prioritizations Bitcoin community has picked up, I think they are going to be, in the longer run, they are going to realize that, oh, there was some missteps. Like, now recently I was having a debate with someone, and then somebody said that, what if we realize 3 years or 5 years from now that Bitcoin BSV actually, or Bitcoin Cash were the better versions, because they were actually focusing on payments also. Like, they were trying to make Bitcoin some sort of settlement layer, like where the, country, intercontinental, like, payments are being settled and all that, and Bitcoin could have been used for that. But now, because of the locked block size of Bitcoin, they kind of, put Bitcoin in a corner where it can't even support the settlement like transactions over there. So that's why, like, I have my doubts on that, and I feel sad for Ethereum Bitcoin community, because they are also very vocal. The problem is that nobody listens to sane voices, like, no, number go up, and all that. That community has become bigger. But again, like, people like us who have huge respect for Bitcoin and all that, what Bitcoin did, many of them actually migrated to Ethereum because of the community, the inclusiveness, the growth mindset and things like that here.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?